going on? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? So, I heard something that I thought was interesting. That Democrats have a thing called Project 2029. Uh-huh. So I thought, let's look at it and see. I'm thinking it's one of those, let's go prosecute people, because that's what it said. I forgot the man's name who said that in order to gain your allies back, it would be very advantageous if you went and put some people in jail. And so there's a lot of scuttlebutt about Project 2029. Gives you a little bit of not hope, but go get them type of, you know what I mean? We have spent, and rightfully so, okay, just put that out there. We have spent quite a bit of time talking about how weak Democrats' responses to things are. Not how weak they are, because if you did what you needed to do, you could put a fire under some of them. But their responses to things are too temperate for some of us out here. This feels a little better. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna be long. I had a few things I wanted to run down because I didn't make any videos, right? I usually put this kind of stuff in video form and just put the video out every day type of thing. But I didn't make none of those. So all of my little musings I have written down here. So Illinois' Democratic governor, what is his name? Pritzker? Is that how you say it? Pritzker? Anyway, JBP said that Democrats should seek criminal prosecution against the Trump administration, law enforcement officials that have broken the law. And mind you, he was the one who was subject to the immigration thugs running around his state. So there's that too. He said, and he's running for governor again, the third term. He sat down with an interview with the New York Times, and he proposed that Democrats adopt their own version of 2025, the Heritage Foundation's conservative policy blueprint. And he said we need to counter it with Project 2029. So he is urging it to be quickly implemented and to restore the rule of law with it. He wants prosecutions. He wants people held accountable, so forth and so forth. My question is, how likely is such a thing to happen? Because he's aiming at Stephen Miller, Tom Homan, the Borders Are guy, Christy Noam, Tricia McLaughlin, who was the Secretary to Homeland Security lady, the acting ICE director, Tom Lyons, the commissioner of CBP, Rodney Scott, Corin Lewandowski. So just to name a few. He wants some prosecutions. He wants some justice. You know? How likely is this Project 2029 to happen? Because, mind you, that's why Elon said he was effed if Kamala Harris got elected, because all his stuff was going to be coming out. So how likely is this going to happen? Project 2029. Work in progress for the title. Let's see. Well, Three of Pentacles, first card. I like that. I like that a lot. Because that is collaborations. That is people coming together with different walks of life to make something happen. Okay. The Page of Cups. Here's the thing, too. We are easily sold on this idea. So this would be eliciting all those emotions, pleasant surprises, good news for those collaborations. So if you are looking to collaborate, if you are looking to make this thing happen, these are two good cards to get. Nothing is material here, but everything is group-wise. So the conversation will be had. At least nothing has materialized so far, but there's the World. I like that too. The World is a card of lessons learned. So in order to implement certain strategies, I think they would have it kind of down pat. So that's a good card to get, and that's the World is us, the audience. So it's another good thing. The Page of Wands, there's the talking, the speeches. All the leaders are going to come out and say, yep, I stand behind Project 2029. I stand behind this. I stand behind what he just said, what she just said, what they just said, da, 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 da. Those are the messages. Those are the Facebook posts. Those are all of that stuff coming out. Seven of Wands, higher ground. Okay. So far, so good. The Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles, that's, big business. There's other people signed on to this. Thank you. Are you spiritual? There you go. Jasmine Maloney, are you spiritual? Wherever you find your podcast, there's a good one to listen to right there. Word of warning, justice. So this will be countered and heavily. So it's not a This is not a thing that's just going to go through without a fight. So bear that in mind. Justice is leveling your playing field with the other people in the world with you. And so there will be a counter to this. Not to mention, there's a lot of legal obstruction too. Because if your goal for Project 2029 is to prosecute those who need prosecuting, then your word of warning being justice means it's not going to be easy, if anything at all. So there's right there, choose left. That's it too. You need a DOJ that will sink the teeth in and will not let go until something happens. But there's another thing. The King of Pentacles, whoever that is or whatever that is, the Ace of Pentacles, opportunity is there. So, and then the Four of Swords, they're lying in wait. They're lying in wait. Now, one thing about the Four of Swords that I don't like in this instance is I need more movement. I need more strategy than this. This is not giving up, so that's a good thing, but I still want you to move more than this. Is a retreat to recharge, not a retreat to go away completely. So, but I still want a little more action. I want a little more Knight of Swords. Come save the day. But its materialization looks good so far. Speaking of materialization, do you know who Greg Phillips is? If you don't, let me tell you. Greg Phillips, G-R-E-G-G, Greg, was appointed in December to head the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, Office of Response and Recovery. He said in January of 2025, on an episode of a podcast, that he was teleported. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I don't believe you, is all I'm saying. But he said he was teleported. It's real and it was not fun. Now, mind you, he's a conspiracy theorist. Just throwing that out there too. But he said the incident happened and he was teleported miles across Georgia. I think he drank from excess glass too. He said, I was with my boys one time. First of all, you're a grown man, quit calling your friends boys. But anyway, I was with my boys one time. And I was telling them I was going to go to Waffle House and get Waffle House. Now, that's how this reads. I don't know if that's how he said it. He said, I was going to go to Waffle House and get Waffle House. Is he always drunk or is this a typo? Because how do you go to Waffle House and get Waffle House? You go to Waffle House and get waffles. Do they sell Waffle Houses? You know how you get waffle cones? Do they have like Waffle Houses? I'll take a Waffle House with strawberry, and then I'll take a waffle apartment, just plain on that one. I'll take a waffle condominium. Do that anyway. He said, and I ended up at a Waffle House. No. You went to Waffle House to get Waffle House, and you ended up at Waffle House? Not the IHOP? How you do that? Tell me how you did it. I want to know the secret right now. How do you go to Waffle House and end up at Waffle House? Who does that? Oh my goodness. Mm, miracles. You should put that on all the channels right now. God is real. Amen. I ended up at Waffle House. This was in Georgia. And I ended up at a Waffle House like 50 miles away from where I was. I mean, that's how traveling works, but okay. And he went on to say that they told him, or they asked him, hey, where are you? I said, a Waffle House. A Waffle House where? Waffle House in Rome, Georgia. And they said, that's not possible. You just left here a moment ago. But it was possible. It was so real. He said, it's no fun because you really don't know what you're doing. You don't really understand it. It's scary, but yet, but so real. And you know it's happening, but you can't do anything about it. And so you just go. You just go with the ride. And wow, what just an incredible adventure it all was. Boy, if you don't get somewhere and sit your ass down, somewhere, anywhere. You said you didn't like it. Now it was a rush. Ancient cards of wisdom. Was he teleported? Now, mind you, he said he was teleported more than once, leaving him to question whether this was good or whether this was evil. Was he teleported? Yes, I'm reading. Was he teleported? No, I'm actually going to change that question. Why does he believe he was teleported? Because the cards can tell me he believes he was teleported because he was teleported, or it can tell me he believes he was teleported because he sniffs baking soda out of a paper bag. Because he ran out of other things. Why does he believe he was teleported? Well, because listen, strange things can happen. No stranger would it be, right? So if I got to do this, y'all got to do this. Poll time. Was he spell it right if you're gonna be mean? Spell it right. T-E-L-E. Was he teleported? Y'all tell me. Tell me what it's gonna say. Why does he believe he was teleported? Not somewhere out there. Just to another Waffle House. Again, yes, people do astro travel. He didn't say that he had an outer body thing. He didn't say he went to see his loved one on the other side of town. He was going to Waffle House. He just believes he was teleported to one further away. Not astral travel. Teleported to another restaurant. Whole different thing. Why does he believe he was teleported? You got the Sun, you have the Hierophant, the Nine of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Page of Swords, Five of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Chariot, and the Eight of Wands. That would be your travel. Why does he believe that? Unfortunately, I would love to tell you teleported, but there is something in your mentality that thinks you traveled or you were teleported. But this is not. If I would have gotten any other page, if I would have gotten Knight of Swords, if I had gotten anything else, the Page of Swords means that your mentality is skewed towards a lie, because this is the gossiper, the liar, the storyteller, that type of thing. I can't say that you are delusional necessarily. I think you were just lying altogether. Because it'd be a different thing, like if he was high and the story came out, like I would have got the moon maybe. But this is a lie, basically, that he told. That card would be Moon and Seven of Cups, Joseph. Yes. Because that speaks to cloudy thoughts. I don't get you were teleported. I get you just literally made it up, probably because you thought you needed a story to tell. Because I was talking about, because I didn't quite understand why people were so pressed with the Timothée Chalamet business, where he dogged out opera and the ballet, even though his mother's an opera singer, isn't she? And I'm thinking, people say stupid stuff all the time. Was it really that big of a deal? And well, it should have been, because, he should have known better. But at the same time, he was talking to a person that looks like he drinks beer out of a can still and gets you a glass. And you feel like sometimes you need to be funny if you're talking to comedians. You need to have a story to tell if you're speaking to Southern people that sound like they tell stories. And like you feel like you have to be who they are to fit in with where they are. And so I think this guy said he teleported and needed some weird, fantastical story to tell, possibly because of something they talked about off camera. And then next thing you know, there you are, out there telling stories because you think that'll make you fit in. Come up with something better than teleportation, though, home slice. But you do you. If it happens again, call 911. That way, it'll be recorded. Bless his hearts, but, whatever. It could have happened. It could have happened. Okay, speaking of could have happened. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. There is a thing going on out there. I'm going to do another poll here in a second. There's another thing going on. If this campaign is not confronted and decisively defeated, the result will be disastrous. A second term that drifts into lame duck status, not due to a voter backlash, but because the insurrection from within. There apparently is this thing called Operation Divide MAGA. And Trump. Here's the thing. You are now having too many dissenting voices, too many Marjorie Taylor Greene type of copycats to where they're all, because the war, mind you, is something that none of them wanted. But there's a man, I'd read half of what he said on Twitter or something, like, because he showed a picture that his son sent out. His son's in the Navy. And he sent a picture of a meal he got, which had like a lobster tail on it and something and a whole bunch of other stuff. And he sent that out, and they were having this back and forth because there was some woman who started the argument saying, are you understanding the meaning of that picture? They have these fantastic, elaborate meals right before you get sent to war. And so that's why he got to show you a lobster tail. And the guy shot back and said, well, you don't know what he's doing. Well, I know why you get lobster tail to a soldier, but anyway. So the war thing had a whole conversation going on just over that one little picture. And then you had the Marjorie saying that this is not what we wanted, this is not what we voted for, this is not this, that, and the other thing. And then they're talking to random people on the street who are pissed off about the gas, who are pissed off about the grocery prices, and a war on top of that. Not to mention, they still think the DOJ is hiding Epstein files. So we see like 15 different people on the sides pulling at the threads of MAGA, and it's all coming undone. But it's not us who are doing this. It is their own side. They're doing the cannibalism thing again, to the point to where it is now called Operation Divide MAGA. Now, I would like you to call it Operation Destroy MAGA, but you know, we don't need two sets of y'all. But that's kind of the same thing, or I guess the same goal, I don't know, but this thing of unraveling the pieces. Will it be successful, is my question. Will they be able to unravel the MAGA? Because it is firm behind their leader, if you want to call him that still. Make America great again. That was the goal, right? That was never the goal, homeboys and homegirls out there in MAGA land. The goal was for you to buy a hat. That was the goal. Because if you put the hat on, you become one of me, not one of us, one of me. Because Donald Trump is not a Republican. Donald Trump is a Donald Trumpian. You put the hat on, you become one of me, because you never even stopped to realize that hat was made in China. And then when you found out, the hat's already on, so you chose not to care. Chose not to care. You've seen the pictures of him with Epstein. You chose not to care. When he was president the first time and bankrupt the country, you chose not to care. You had the hat on. You are one of him, not one of them. But what do I know? I voted for the woman. So there's that. Will this be successful? Operation Divide MAGA. Let us see the Three of Wands. There may be a step in this game up a little more. Three of Wands is anticipation and expansion. This problem is going to grow. Go for it. I'm here for all of it. The Ten of Wands. Burden, burden, burden. What you see now, do any of you out there know what Jenga is? It's that block game where it's all one solid block, and then you pull a piece of the block out little by little, and then whoever pulls the one and it falls and the da-da-da-da and all that stuff, right? That's what this looks like. The expansion and the burden. The burden is not around necessarily expansion. The burden around is the effect that this brings. And so you've got one person pulling one thing out. Because what I get from this is tower. And tower is Jenga, basically. To where they're going to pull and pull and pull and pull. And eventually that tower, the whole thing will fall down. Because you can't get away from the expansion. You can't get away from the burden being those voices that you know what, because it's from their side. It's different when it's us because we're the haters. But when it comes from over there and they tell you in podcast land and Joe Rogan land and all these type of things that he said no more wars, no new wars. Now he's picking on Greenland, Cuba, Iran, Ecuador. Like, I thought you said no new wars. I thought you said lower prices for everything. And then you come out and say, oh, well, small price to pay. And then you say, oh, you know, soldiers will die, but small price to pay. It's hard to keep that hat on when the small price to pay comes from my family. And then you get the Joe Rogans and the Marjories and the Tuckers and all these people come out and say, no new wars, this is a bad thing. Pull that piece out, one at a time. And mind you, Tucker Carlson and all these people, they may not even mean to bring the tower moment. They're just pulling a piece. You don't ever really mean to knock the thing down. It's not like you flip the Monopoly board. You could just pull one piece and then it's your fault. Two of Cups. Make love, not war. Two of Cups. That's the deals. They're going to find some other voices on the other side to help them with their message. Page of Pentacles. Merchandise, possibly. Six of Cups. They're bringing people from the past, voices from the past. Remember Donald Trump says, he spoke to a president, said, I wish I'd have done what you're doing right now. And then all the past presidents whom are alive, or which are alive, said, yeah, he didn't talk to us. Who he talked to? But my vote was for Andrew Jackson. But anyway, Judgment. Another past card, the Two of Wands. Plans going bad. Page of Swords, negative words, lies and gossip. I mean, you ain't got to make nothing up for Donald Trump, but if you want to, call teleport guy. See, the Emperor and the Ace of Swords. Will it work? Yes, it will. Now, for those learning tarot, the aces are used sometimes by a lot of people, not everybody. So you don't have to use it that way. But a lot of people use it as confirmation. So it's a yes card. One thing I teach, though, is there's 4 of them. So they have specific yeses. So for instance, will this work? If I got the Ace of Cups is relationships and emotions. So I charge. So will this work? Yes, there's a leader, cups, emotions. If there's a wand, that's action, creativity. So I would say yes, there is a new action. So maybe boots on the ground, out there doing interviews and things of that nature. With the sword, that is information. So will this be effective? Yes, informationally. So they will be able to penetrate where these people get their news eventually. So you'll have some people like a Megyn Kelly or something like that covering what Marjorie Taylor Greene said or echoing, even worse, what she said. So there's your information. This is not going to be on Fox News, but this will be where they get other news from. Alex Jones or somebody like that. So we'll see. But I want to know, what is the goal of Marjorie Taylor Greene? Because she's doing the whole woman scorn tour because he didn't treat her very well, and you know, he didn't pat her head, call her pretty. But what's her goal here? Because she's going a little rough in the paint when it comes to the Donald Trump criticism, which you get no fight from me, but what's her goal? What's the end game? Let's see. The 7 of Cups. She's goofy. That's what. Listen. I don't want to call it a whim, but I want to call it a whim. This is her fight now. 7 of Cups is the card of illusions and delusions and gaslighting, and I don't know what to do, really. Then there's the King of Wands. This is regeneration. She's trying to stay relevant as well. Is she talking about the Epstein victim still? Or she moved on from that? Death, major change. Judgment. 6 of Cups. And the Hermit. I can say, with the Hermit and the Judgment, she is close to soul searching. Close. She's there, almost. Right there. I still think, because I'm not Jesus. I'm not a forgiving person. I never have been. I never will be, more than likely. Don't be like me, okay? Give people second chances. In the greater spiritual world, second chances are necessary. I'm just not that person. I don't need second chances from people. If you hate me forever. I'm okay with that. Because I more than likely don't know, don't care, or won't care. But I'm not a person of second chances. But she may be close to soul searching, to where she may realize that there's something wrong on the inside, and she brought it to the outside and tortured people with it. The Six of Cups is childhood, nostalgia, innocence. Then there's a major change. And then there's the Judgment and the Hermit. Now, is she soul searching now? No. I think she's being driven by a force that she doesn't understand, that will bring her to the point where she meets herself. Seven of Cups, she doesn't know what's going on right now. The King of Wands, though, is regeneration, where she can be born again, if you will. And so that's why I think that's what our goal is, I think. Her goal, or the powers that be goal, is to bring her to an understanding of who she is. This ain't about Donald Trump. Maybe Donald Trump was your mirror, and you realize you behaved like him, or you will realize you behaved like him, and you wanted his approval. You wanted his stench on you. You wanted to be around him. You wanted to talk to him. You wanted all that. Maybe. Me, personally, I think you're garbage, and I think you always will be. But again, not a person of second chances. J.D. Vance's current goal in terms of leadership. Okay. Donald Trump's days are numbered. That's why he was talking about heaven so much. What are J.D. Vance's goals in terms of leadership? Does he want to be El Presidente? And how bad? Let's see. Three of Pentacles. Dark money. See in the Illuminati. The Knight of Wands. Progression, moving forward. He thinks he's the next one. He's the shoe-in. Because he's the VP, so my turn's next. Seven of Wands. King of Wands. New leadership. 10 of Cups. And the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, he wants that job for sure. A sexual predator. I believe you. He's a sexual predator. I've never. That's funny. Because yes, he is. Okay. Poll time. Poll time. Poll time. Will Donald Trump be on trial for anything ever? Now, mind you, I didn't say stand trial, so he can be dead as the caveat to that question. Will he be on trial for anything ever? Is my question. Let's see. 1, 2, and 3. Possibly a financial crime of some sort. High Priestess, 7 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, the theft of something. Page of Pentacles is something material, something you could earn or lose. That's what I guess. Which I'll say. 67% says no, 33% says yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Will Elon Musk ever be arrested? Poll time. Y'all answer it. Will Elon ever be arrested? See, Al Capone was Texas. Yeah, he was. Murder half of the world and go to jail for tax evasion. Will Elon ever be arrested for anything? Mind you, this deck is, I don't know what it's called, actually. There are 2, and I get them mixed up. But there was one called the Groovy Weight, Groovy, Groovy, and there was one called the Trippin' Weight, Trippin'. The Groovy Weight and the Trippin' Weight both have sort of the same kind of color scheme, kind of 70s motif type of thing, but they're sold by the same people. So if you Google it, you'll find it. Trippin' Weight and Groovy Weight. Remember, he just got busted for defrauding all those investors in the Twitter deal. Not that that means anything right now, but we'll see. But will he ever be arrested? Not tried and convicted and executed and things like that. Just ever be arrested. I just want ever, not just this country, but ever. Because mind you, this country, he's got some protection because of the administration. But everywhere else in the world, mind you, the offices were raided. What was it, France? And that's another thing, Sylvia. Billionaires are not usually arrested. But I'm asking, will he ever be arrested? Ever. Will he ever be arrested? Imagine him in jail without all his special powders and things. The Wheel of Fortune and the Judgment. I still think what comes at him is all financial. Because the Wheel of Fortune means time or a matter of time, and judgment is a judgment. And it repeats both of these things. This is literally the card of repeating, and then time always repeats itself. And certain things come around at certain points of the year, especially with elections and things of that nature. So I think he gets fined, and then fined again, and then fined again, not fined, but sued, and has to pay money, sued, and has to pay money, and sued, and has to pay money, and sued, and has to pay money, which, I mean, all of them go through that. Zuckerberg has got how many cases? And Zuckerberg paid me $34.19 for stealing all my information, and then turned around and just did it again. So Eight of Cups. I don't think arrested, no. The Fool, the Emperor, the King of Cups, the Chariot, the Five of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Six of Pentacles. Massive fines, and sues, and fines and sues, and he should be, just for the record. Just for the record, he should be. All right, let's look at the month of April for Donald Dump. Let's see what's happening there. Let's see. April for the dumpster. Made myself laugh. Not the dumpster. Not the dumpster. Thank you, Cold Toes. Not the dumpster. Wait. Oh, wow, that's funny. I didn't expect it to come out like that. Okay. Anyway, focus. Okay. Like Trumpster, and I just said dumpster. I don't. It tickled me. Excuse me. Pardon me. Okay. The Seven of Wands, the Magician, and the Four of Swords. He's going to have to pull back something from somewhere very soon. These are more than likely either ice or actual troops of some kind, but there's a pulling back here, a retreat. Now, they are talking about trying to pull back from people from Iran and all that stuff, but mind you, also, he wants or has threatened to send ICE to the airport. Now, to do what? He said there'll be security. Mind you, ICE, Homeland Security, TSA, they're all being paid by the same thing, right? If TSA is not getting paid, ICE isn't either. What's the difference? And what are they going to do? Nobody is smuggling immigrants through airport security. Like, what are they going to do? Like this, mind you. I mean, we know why he said that, because he's trying to look tough. I'm going to send my thugs out to be airport security. To do what? There is a sun and the High Priestess. Some sort of secret agenda is going to be exposed there. But that's constantly with him. There's something here too. It's more salacious, probably petty boot style hashtag. This is more something like his sleeping arrangement is odd, and that gets exposed um, with the Four Swords, the High Priestess, and the Sun. Like he either can't sleep or has to sleep in a certain position, like if you have to sit up because of acid reflux type of thing or something. But there's something around his sleeping arrangement that's not, it's not newsworthy, but it's something that people like me can poke fun at. So there's something there too, but he's also having to pull back the actual news. He's having to pull someone back from somewhere. It doesn't specify whether it's military or not, though. It just, whoever they're defending, something is defending. So it feels more like security than it does the war stuff, because that's technically attacking. But there is a pullback of some sort of security force. So maybe ICE is being removed from some city somewhere, but that's going to happen there. The Five of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. If he is endorsing a candidate somewhere, that's going to go bad because some Republican loses because of him. Empress, he's concerned. Well, of course he is. He's concerned about his health. The hopes is the Empress. The Empress governs the body. She has power over life. And he is concerned about his physical well-being. He fears being confined, possibly to a wheelchair. So there's something, I've seen that too. Something with his mobility is going wonky. So he's fearing being confined to a wheelchair or something about a wheelchair. And he does not want that part of his public image either, to be wheeled around like some person who can't walk on their own, an invalid. So people have wheelchairs, dude. It's all right. In the environment, there is the Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. He has no plan whatsoever to fix the economy. That's going to be evident. He may start talking about checks again. Like, hey, I can send you a Donald Trump check, or send everybody a Donald Trump card with $2,000 on it type of thing. But this is not the Knight of Pentacles is reliable, yes, but the Knight of Pentacles is not a job. The Knight of Pentacles is something that's a one-off. So if I was to send you a check, I'm sending you one. This is not like work where you get one every week type of thing. This is a one-off thing. This is an electrician. You hire them to do this one thing and then they go away. They don't do electrics at your house every day. So he could be talking about sending you a check again, especially to look good for the summertime when it comes to gas prices and grocery prices and the da-da-da-da and all that other stuff. Page of Swords, your word of warning, beware of the gossip and the lies. That's all he knows. Solace, Three of Pentacles. He's still got some people helping him to gain money, though. They're profiting off all of this. All they did was get hired to steal. And there's a Six of Cups and Page of Pentacles. Someone returns to the White House, whoever that is. I'm so sick of these people, Jesus. I am. Ooh. Okay, I think that was it. I got one more non-political question. I have seen and heard a lot of new things erupting in the spiritual realm. Not as the spiritual realm, us here, spiritual talk, I guess I should call it. So will there continue to be a rise in vibration, a rise in the spiritual arts, if you will, people taking more into, I don't want to call it new age, but I'm going to call it new age for lack of a better word, spiritual path and non-tradition. Will there be more of the non-traditional spiritual path? Will we see an increase in the shamans and the tarot readers and the meditators and the yoga practitioners, even though yoga is not spiritual, but it is actually something that Christians say is deviant. So there is that too. But will we see a rise in such a thing? Hangman, perspective changes. Yes, we will. People are looking at things. This is voluntary, though. This is not forced. This is voluntary. The hangman puts himself in that position for enlightenment. The devil. Now, me personally, this is my guide. This is my guiding card in the tarot. And where it guides me is saying, pursue your own happiness. You'll be judged, but pursue it. But yes, there will be a perspective change in things that people may see as out of the ordinary. And then the Queen of Wands, the metaphysical queen. Yes, there will be a rise in the non-tradition. Are these my paintings? Oh, good Lord, no. I cannot paint anything. All of these were done, these landscapes were done by my niece, and she did these over here. This and that, and then one up here, you can't see my profile picture that I had, and then this picture here was painted by a woman named Kathy D. I bought that from a store called Leaf when I went to visit Becca Lenormand. And then this is a handmade beaded picture. And then there's my pendulum and an air freshener and my Johnny books. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday, right? Yes, it is. So I will see y'all tomorrow on Sunday, or see some of y'all in class tomorrow, whichever one. So until then, take care of yourselves, stay away from stupid people, and do lovely things.